In today's video, I will be showing you a tutorial on how to make these Gnome of the Brave gnomes. They're perfect for any patriot that you may know. They're a fun little addition to any holiday that supports or remembers our veterans. And they're just a really cute way to combine your love of gnomes with your love of your country. My name is Sig, and what a pleasure it is to have you with me today. It's your interest and support that allows me to contribute new content and weekly videos. Help us all grow together by tapping that subscribe bar and notification bell. I look forward to your comments and always value your feedback. Now let's get started. For this Gnome of the Brave, I'm going to be using 4 colors. I'm going to use kind of this cream color for the skin tone, and then I have this white, this red, and this blue. And as you can tell, all of these yarns are actually a different yarn. The one thing they do have in common is that they're a lace weight or a very lightweight size 1. So this one right here is a synthetic wool for my white. My cream is actually a wool yarn. My red is some leftover alpaca yarn from the purple dahlia Japanese knot bag I did a tutorial on a few weeks back. And then this is a cotton yarn with a metallic strip going through it, this blue yarn. And this is leftover yarn from the snowflake shawl that I did just before the holidays last year. So as you can see, all I really need is the same size. So this gnome is going to be made with the size 1 yarns. And I'm using a size B, or size 1 if you like, crochet hook. 2.25 millimeter for those who work with that. Now, if you wanted to use a larger yarn or a heavier weight yarn, absolutely. This pattern is going to be good for any yarn you want to use. The only thing to remember is to just make sure that all your yarn is the same size. So in addition, don't forget that you'll need a yarn needle, stuffing, and then whatever other color yarn you might want if you're going to make a different color hair for the female gnome. I happen to be using this pale yellow alpaca yarn, but you can use whatever color yarn you choose to use. So I'm going to begin by making the hat. I'm going to use my red yarn. I'm going to create an adjustable or magic ring. And then I'm going to go ahead and I am going to single crochet 5. So my first round is 5 single crochets. And for the hat, I'm going to work in a spiral. So I'm just going to continue on. So in the next single crochet, which will begin round 2 for me, I'm going to put 2 single crochets into that same stitch. And then I'm going to single crochet 4. Complete my round 2 with a total count of 6. Now for round 3, I'm going to increase that by 3 additional stitches, which is going to give me a total count of 9. So what I'm going to do is in the first stitch of round 3, I'm going to single crochet 2 single crochets in the same stitch. And then I'm going to single crochet in the next stitch. Then I'm going to place 2 single crochets in the next stitch. And again, I'm going to single crochet in the next stitch. Now I'm going to do one more time. I'm going to make 2 single crochets in the same stitch. And then I'm going to single crochet So now that gives me a total of 9 stitches for round 3. For round 4, I'm going to just simply single crochet in each stitch. So round 4 will also end with 9 stitches. So now my 9th stitch, I'm going to change over to my white color for round 5. So in the first stitch of round 5, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to single crochet 2 single crochets in that same stitch. And then I'm going to single crochet once and then twice. Single crochet in the next 2 stitches. Then in the next stitch, I'm going to put 2 single crochets into that same stitch. So 1 and 2. Then I'm going to single crochet again. Once in the next stitch, and once in the stitch after that. Then again in the next stitch, I'm going to place 2 single crochets in the same stitch. And then in the next stitch after that, I'm going to single crochet, and then I'm going to single crochet again in the stitch after that. And that'll give me 12 stitches total in that row. Now for row 6, I'm going to single crochet 12 stitches. I'm going to do one more round for white, and this is round 7. And so for round 7, the pattern's going to be 2 single crochets in the first stitch, and then a single crochet in the next 3 stitches. Again, 2 single crochets in the next stitch, and then a single crochet in the next 3 stitches. Again. And for round 7, we're going to do an additional single crochet for that last stitch, and giving me a total of 16 stitches for round 7. And this is where I'm going to change my colors again. And then for round 8, I'm going to do a single crochet in each stitch, giving us a total of 16 stitches. And then for round 9, I'm going to begin with 2 single crochets in that very first stitch, and then I'm going to single crochet 4. So I'll complete this pattern a total of 3 times, plus I will add an additional 2 single crochets in that very last stitch to give me a total count of 20 stitches for round 9. And then next for round 10, I'll do a single crochet in each of the next stitches, giving me also a count of 20. For round 11, I will change colors again. Now for my white, I'm going to begin row 11 with 2 single crochets in that first stitch. And then I'm going to single crochet 5. And I'm going to in the next stitch, do 2 single crochets together, and then I'm going to single crochet 5 in the stitches following that. And then again, 2 stitches in the same stitch. And then single crochet 5. And then I'm going to, again, do 2 single crochets in the next stitch. And I'm going to single crochet in the stitch after that, giving me a total of 24 stitches for round 11. Now for round 12 and round 13, we're going to just simply single crochet in each stitch, giving us a total of 24 stitches in each one of those rounds. So for round 14, I'm going to do a combination of 2 single crochets in the same stitch, and then a single crochet twice, 2 single crochets in the next stitch, and then a single crochet twice, and do that all the way around for round 14. And when you get back around, you're going to be at a count of 32. Next, for round 15, I'm just going to single crochet in each of the single crochets. Our next round is going to be round 16, and in round 16 we're going to single crochet again, 32. However, we're only going to single crochet front loop only. Next, for rounds 17 through 20, I'm going to single crochet each single crochet in the rounds 32 times, and then you'll fasten off. So now that we have our little cap finished, I'm going to start on the actual head and body. Now what makes this particular gnome a little unique is that the cap, head, and body are all one piece. And then the feet and the arms and all the little extras are add-ons. So the main portion of this amigurumi is all done in one piece. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to flip back this rim a little bit on the hat, right down here to where we can see this back loop left over from a couple of rows back. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to tie my cream color right into that. And then I'm going to single crochet in each one of those back loops all the way around. And we'll count this as round 1 for the body. Now once I've completed round 1, I'm going to continue on to do a second round in the cream. Now once I've completed the second round, I'm going to begin round 3 with a change of color. And for my piece, that is going to be the red. Go ahead and tie that in. And then for rounds 3 through 10, I'm going to just single crochet red, a single crochet in each round, which is going to be 32 stitches per round for rounds 3 through 10. So now I've completed rounds 3 through 10. And for round 11, I'm going to single crochet, a single crochet in the front loop only, 32 times. Now that I have a round of front loop only, I'm going to do another round for round 12 of single crochets. Next, for round 13, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to place 2 single crochets in the next stitch. And then I'm going to single crochet 3 times. Then I'm going to place 2 single crochets in the next stitch. And then I'm going to single crochet 3 times. I'm going to follow this pattern until I've completed round 13. And then I'm going to finish off here and then move on to the next step. So next, as before, we're going to go ahead and we're going to pick up on this loop, this back loop that was left from a couple of rounds ago. Back to round 11, to be precise. I'm going to tie my red back in. And then I'm going to begin to single crochet in each one of those back loops all the way around. And I'm going to go ahead and call this round 14. Now once I've completed round 14 with my single crochets on those back loops from round 11, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to stuff my body. Now I want to stuff it enough to be firm, but not too firm. But still, I'm going to keep my yarn attached because after I stuff this body, I am going to then begin to close the bottom. Now once I have my gnome stuffed to where I'd like it to be stuffed, I'm now going to go ahead and for rounds 15 and 16, I'm going to begin to close. And the way I'm going to do that is I'm simply going to decrease. So for those of you who don't know how to decrease, basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my hook and I'm going to insert it into the first stitch. I'm going to pull a loop through. Then I'm going to take my hook and I'm going to insert it into the second stitch and pull another loop through. Then I'm going to pull the yarn through one more time to close those 2 stitches together to create just the 1 stitch, and that's a decrease. I'm going to continue to do that all the way around for rounds 15 and rounds 16. So once I've completed that and closed off the bottom, I should have something, you should have something, if you're following these instructions, that look like this. Now let's move on to the rest of this gnome. The hands, the feet, the nose, and the beard. So next thing we're going to do is the nose. And for the nose, I'm going to take my yarn that I'm using for my skin tone. I'm going to make an adjustable ring. Then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to single crochet 5 in that ring. Next, I'm going to close that ring. And for the nose, I'm also going to go ahead and I'm going to work in the spiral. So in that first single crochet from round 1, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to single crochet 2 in that stitch. Begin round 2. Then I'm going to crochet 2 single crochets in each of the next 4 stitches, giving me a total of 10 stitches for round 2. Next, for rounds 3 through 5, I'm simply going to single crochet, a single crochet in each stitch for each round. So each round's going to end with a count of 10 stitches. And I'm going to do this for the next 3 rounds. And when I've done that, I'm going to finish off, and then I'm going to slightly stuff my nose, and I'm going to sew it into place on my gnome. Now that I've stuffed and put my nose in place, I'm going to move on to crochet the arms. So for the arms, it's going to be pretty similar to the way I did the nose. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to make an adjustable ring, and I'm going to single crochet 5. And I'm going to close my ring. And for round 2, I'm going to single crochet 2 single crochets in each stitch, giving me an end count of 10. Next, for rounds 3 and 4, I'm going to continue to just single crochet in each one of those single crochets, giving me a count of 10 at the end of each round. Now once I've completed round 4, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to change colors over to my red. And then I'm going to continue rounds 5 through 9 just exactly the same way. I'm going to single crochet, a single crochet in each stitch, giving me a total of 10 stitches for each round. And then when I've finished, I'm going to leave myself a long enough tail to sew with. Now that I've completed my arms and have sewn them on, I'm going to get started on the feet. So for the feet, I'm going to use my blue. I'm going to create an adjustable ring. And then just like before, I'm going to single crochet 5. I'm going to close my ring, and then I'm going to continue by making 2 single crochets in each of the following stitches for round 2, giving me a total of 10 stitches once round 2 is completed. Next, for round 3, I'm going to single crochet in the first stitch, and then I'm going to make 2 single crochets in the stitch after that. I'm going to continue that pattern 5 times, and that'll give me 15 stitches for round 3. Next, for rounds 4 and 5, I'm going to single crochet in each stitch. So for each of those next 2 rounds, I'm going to end with a count of 15. Next, for round 6, I'm going to do a round of decreases. So it'll be 1 decrease. Two decreases. And then I'm going to do a single crochet in that last stitch. Next, I'm going to stuff it just a little bit. So now that I've stuffed it, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to close it with a row of single crochets. Once I've completed that with 6 crochets, single crochets, then go ahead, I'm going to turn my work. I'm going to chain 1, and then I'm going to single crochet again 6 times across the previous row of 6 single crochets. Then I'm going to turn my work one more time, and I'm going to chain 1, and I'm going to single crochet again 6 times across the previous row. I'm going to cut off a nice long tail so I can use this to sew my foot into place. And I'm going to make one more of these and sew them onto my gnome. Now that I've finished the feet and have sewn them on, you see a sew, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to quickly show you how to make these curls for the hair and the beard. For the beard, for the male gnome, as what I did for the hair for the female gnome, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to chain 17. Then in the second chain from the hook, I'm going to single crochet 2 single crochets in the same stitch. And then I'm going to single crochet 2 single crochets in each stitch after that. And that will create the curl and the length that I'm looking for. Now I'm going to make several of these, and you will decide for yourself how many of them you need to make and to what length you want to make them for your gnome. Now, if I want to make this longer or shorter, I just change the amount of chains for each strand that I make. So I'll meet you right back here after I've completed the beard for my gnome. Once you've sewn on your beard or your gnome's hair, you can certainly embellish it any way you like, sort of like what I did with these little stars on the female. If you enjoyed this tutorial, and I invite you to check out my other amigurumi tutorials as well. But now's the time for me to say goodbye. So until I see all you wonderful and creative fiber artists again, stay amazing, stay crafty. Bye-bye now.